Ladies, we are here tonight on the show. And tonight, not a lot of news. I think there was something about Stone Cold Steve Austin, praising LA Knight. He said he thinks he can really do something good. He likes his character, the way he talks to the microphone, stuff like that. I think something came out about WWE going back to working full time. They're not a lot of companies, they're doing this. They started last year, but a lot of companies, doing back to the virtual working from home is kind of finished now. I do think some companies do it, but for the most part, a lot of companies are now really going back to full time work. So the WWE announced that starting in May, they want all their employees who work at the WWE headquarters to go to the WWE headquarters and work at the WWE headquarters, right? No more virtual working from your home. So I mean, but not a lot of news. I think that's about it, really. Not a lot of stuff to talk about today on a Saturday. Honestly, we might just go directly to the SmackDown recap. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, not a lot of news going on. SmackDown. We might as well just talk about it. What was yesterday? Was the 28th, I believe. So April 28th, 2023. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, not a lot of news, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just directly go to SmackDown. All right, so the edition of the draft from Corpus Christi, Texas. So this show, it had some storylines, but it was mostly about the draft. That was basically the whole theme of this draft. I don't know if you waste your time drafting like Roman Reigns and, how about instead of maybe doing a draft, how about you just do trades, right? And maybe that's how you get, in a way, the matches to matter. Hey, if Raw, maybe have Raw versus SmackDown, and if the Raw guy wins the match, Raw gets to do a trade, or they get to offer the trade. Like they get to propose a trade, and then SmackDown decides if they want it or not. And that's another reason why I think you need to have general managers for each show, right? I think the theme right now is that the networks, USA Network and Fox, are the ones that are drafting. I think that's what like the storyline is behind that. But maybe if you would have two general managers, maybe like, okay, so the Raw guy wins the match, so we propose McIntyre for AJ Styles, and then the SmackDown guy would say, well, do you accept? Maybe, okay, I accept to throw in Bianca Belair. Oh, then throw in Charlotte Flair. I think that would be more interesting, and you wouldn't have to waste your time drafting Roman Reigns, drafting Cody Rhodes, drafting Seth Rollins. Those guys are staying where they're staying. I don't know. I feel like the matches with this, when they're doing this stuff, should like have. It seems like they don't even matter. They're just there to let's just have some matches to kill time. But anyway, so yeah, it starts right away. Triple H comes out. He makes the first pick. Like I said, Roman Reigns is the first pick. This was interesting though. No Usos, just Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa. The Usos were not included. That was interesting. And he says, obviously, the World Heavyweight Champion is now for Raw. Obviously, the SmackDown, the Universal Championship is seen on SmackDown. So they do, and they say the first overall pick for Raw is Cody Rhodes. And then they said that the other pick for SmackDown is I beg your pardon. The other pick for Raw is Bianca Belair. No, wait. No, he said the next pick for SmackDown is Bianca Belair. So Bianca Belair goes to SmackDown, even though she's the Raw Women's Champion. And then Becky Lynch goes to Raw. So Becky Lynch is now on Raw. All right. And then we get Jimmy and Jay coming out. They do a promo with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, pretty much talking about their match. They said they're dedicating the match to Roman Reigns, even though Roman Reigns wouldn't answer neither their calls or their messages. And then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tell him, why are you even dedicating the match to a guy who's not even answering your calls? Whatever. And then, we move on. And then we get the first match of the night. We get Sheamus and Butch, or Butch, I guess. Butch versus LA Knight. Very fun match here. LA Knight wins. Finally, LA Knight gets a damn win. Very good stuff here. LA Knight gets a win. And then the second round starts. Rob Van Dam comes out along with Michael Hayes, and they do the picks. The first pick for SmackDown is the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Obviously, Montez Ford is married to Bianca Belair, so no surprise the Street Profits are also going to SmackDown. And then for Raw, they picked Imperium, Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Da Vinci. So Imperium goes to Raw. And then the next pick is Edge goes to SmackDown. And then the final pick is Matt Riddle goes to Raw. All right. And then the Street Profits end up having a match versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet. I think it was like a triple threat tag team match. Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and also Del Toro and Joaquin Wilde from the Latino New World Order. It was a fun match. Obviously, a lot of high spots, crazy spots. At the end, the Street Profits win the match. Montez Ford hit the frog splash to win the match. So good stuff right there. Let's see here. And then they announced Bad Bunny's going to be on SmackDown next week. Remember, SmackDown, I believe, is going to be in Puerto Rico next week, right? They're doing SmackDown, and then on Saturday they're doing Backlash. So that's why they're going to have Bad Bunny on SmackDown next week, because they're already going to be in Puerto Rico. And then the next picks comes out. It's JBL and Teddy Long are the presenters. For Raw, for Bobby Lashley goes to SmackDown for the first pick. Bobby Lashley, and then it's Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown, and then the final one is the original club, which is AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Micha Yim. They keep Micha Yim on the original club. It gives Micha Yim like an identity, right? Instead of just floating around having random matches. And then the women's division, now she has an identity. Oh, she's a part of the original club. I thought that was good. The Miz goes to Raw, or it stays on Raw. And then we have Sonya Deville versus Selena Vega. Obviously, Selena Vega wins the match. Obviously, she's the number one contender for Rhea Ripley's SmackDown Championship, so they got to make her look good. And then after the match, Rhea Ripley comes out, and Rhea Ripley starts beating her up. But then Rhea Ripley starts showboating and trash talking. When she tries to go after, Chelsea Green, or Sonya Deville, and that gives enough time for Selena to recover and hit like a tornado DDT. And then just Selena Vega just runs away, and she kind of pretty much shocks Rhea Ripley with a DDT. And then we get the OC, man, the original club, officially making their comeback, right? AJ Styles is finally back. They have a standoff with the Viking Raiders. At first, I'm like, wait, is AJ Styles is he just back to be back, but is he even cleared to wrestle? Because he does say, it's a 4-on-3 situation, right? Because it's 4 of them and only 2 of the Viking Raiders, Eric, Ibar, and Valhalla. So it's like, I'm going to make it fair. I'm going to stick away. So it's just Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Micha Yim. So they just start brawling. But then at the end, he did hit the phenomenal forearm. So I think he's good to go. They just did that to make it fair, I guess, because it was 4-on-3. For a minute, I'm like, wait, is this guy even healthy? He's just there to be there, but he's not even 100%. But no, it looks like he is healthy. And then we get the next presenters, Road Dogg and Shawn Michaels. Damage Control, Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai go to SmackDown. Shinsuke Nakamura goes to Raw. And then from NXT, the tag team champions, Alba Fry and Issa Ladon go to SmackDown. And then the NXT Women's Champion, Indy Hartwell, goes to Raw. So those are the two NXT selections. The tag team champions and the women's champion are now picked. And then I think right off the bat, we get the main event. That was it. The draft will continue next week. Karrion Kross, Shinsuke Nakamura is getting an interview backstage talking about how he got drafted to Raw, and Karrion Kross attacks him. So I think they did advertise Karrion Kross versus Shinsuke Nakamura next week. I thought maybe they were gonna draft Karrion Kross to Raw and kind of continue the storyline over there. I don't know if they're gonna do that or not. We'll see. So then we get the main event. The Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag team titles. I thought the Usos kind of like were on top of most of the match. It looked like at the end there, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn stole the match. They retained there at the end. Solo Sikoa tried to come out and try to help him, but he got intercepted, I guess, by Matt Riddle. He and Matt Riddle started brawling through the backstage. But yeah, man, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn retain the tag team champions, man. Kevin Owens hit Jimmy with the stunner, and then Sami Zayn hit the Huluba kick. And that's pretty much it. Solo Sikoa came back, but it was too late. By that time, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had won. Like I said, let's see what happens on Monday. Is Roman Reigns going to say the hell with this? I don't want them anymore, and they're gonna draft them to Raw? But is that the way you split them though? You just have them get split like that? There's no more storyline like Roman just like kicking them to the curb? I don't know. I feel like that would be super weak and lazy and a mess of an opportunity for a potential feud, maybe between, I don't know, like maybe even a match between Jay and Roman. You're just gonna not draft them and have them go to Raw, and I don't know. And now Roman can't be on Raw anymore, right? Because now that Raw has a world champion, he can't be on Raw anymore. He's exclusive to be on SmackDown. So it's not like he can appear on Raw and still be with them in a way. Now he's just exclusive to SmackDown, Roman Reigns. So let's see how they continue to do this. But it looks like this could be the end of the Usos as far as being a part of the bloodline. We'll see what happens. And that's pretty much the end of the show. That's pretty much the end of the show, man. So yeah, like I said, this show, obviously the theme of it was the draft. Unless they did put up a good main event, right, with this match. But for the most part, a lot of the match didn't even freaking matter. Dude, what is this shit, man? I'm gonna get out of here. What is going on, man? A lot of the freaking all right, ladies and gentlemen, holla.